Hello everyone, what's up? In today's video we will review the Panzer I and II Visual Modeler's Guide by Ammo of Meg, a 74-page full-color book which has almost 200 photographs taken at 4 different European museums. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about either weathering or the Horus Heresy, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell. As I already said, the book has 74 pages and comes in a handy landscape booklet format with the pages stapled together like a magazine. I'm told this is called saddle stitching, but don't quote me on that. Like Ammo of Meg's magazines, this uses a really good quality satin paper. It should be noted that this is a multilingual book, which includes text in English, Spanish, and French. The authors, Daniele Guglielmi and Mario Pieri, have clearly done a lot of work documenting this, as you will see. This guide is divided into 2 parts, one for the Panzer I, up to page 37, and one for the Panzer II, from page 38 until the end. In both cases there is an introduction, with the vehicle's history, and detailed technical data. After that, what follows is a series of photographs with short explanatory texts. The emphasis is always on looking at specific areas and details from the tank, comparing the different examples, or specimens if you like, documented by the authors. The first vehicle covered in the book is the Panzer I Ausführung A from the Deutsches Panzermuseum in Münster, Germany. This is then compared and contrasted with a similar one in the Museum El Goloso in Madrid, Spain. As you can see, the authors focus on the nitty-gritty of details present in the different parts of these tanks, such as the turret, the hull, or the running gear. Things which affected these details, such as modifications, damage, or restoration, are always mentioned. An example of this attention to detail can be seen on page 15, where we are warned that the fire extinguisher on the tank in Münster is not original, God forbid, or on page 17, where we're told that there are some components missing from its mufflers. The next vehicle is a Panzer 1B, which looks very similar to the 1A, but as you probably know, it had a larger engine, which required that the hull be extended. You could say that my favorite part in the whole book is here. It's the textures on that turret. As a weathering enthusiast, that was one of the first things that I noticed. The authors regale us with a wealth of little details here as well, mentioning things such as the fact that the antenna mount has never been used. The next Panzer 1B that we have is from the Tank Museum in Bovington, in the UK. It's a command variant used by the German Erste Abteilung, or 1st Tank Battalion if you prefer. It's the first tank in the book which has camouflage in the typical grey and brown scheme for the early war period. The section on the Panzer I closes with an illustration, not a photograph, of the Spanish Breda variant, followed by a few paragraphs on its history. This was the modification made by the nationalist forces during the Spanish Civil War, whereby the machine guns were replaced by an Italian 20mm gun. As some of you may know, last year Ammo and Tacom published a limited edition kit of this tank in 1/16 scale. The exact same images and text included here on the Breda tank are also to be found in the kit's instruction manual. The reason that I know this is that I have chosen this kit as my first venture into the world of scale modeling, and I'll soon be covering the painting and weathering process on the channel. But I digress. Let us continue having a look at the guide. The second part of the book is dedicated to the Panzer II. As before, first we have an introduction with a few paragraphs on the vehicle's history and then technical details. The first vehicle examined is a Panzer II Ausführung C, modified into an observation role and which is housed in the Tank Museum in Saumur, France. Like before, the authors provide us with close-up shots and commentary on a wealth of little details, such as the vision ports, the exhaust, or the tracks. The next tank is a Panzer II Ausführung F from the Bovington Tank Museum with the same camouflage pattern that we saw before. The best picture, in my opinion, is this close shot of the tracks, a great reference for weathering. Last but not least, the authors look at 2 very similar but not identical Panzer IIL tanks, one housed in Saumur and one in Bovington, again doing a kind of compare and contrast. At the end of the guide we have 4 pages with tank profiles, similar to those that can be found in other publications by Ammo of Meg. As a modeler, I know myself that having these can be invaluable, as I already discovered a few years ago when I painted some Panthers for the Bolt Action wargame. The only question that remains is whether or not I would recommend this product. Before I answer that, as I did last week, Let me clarify that although Ammo did send me these products as a sample, this is not a paid promotion, and the company has absolutely no say in this video. Alright, so here's the deal. I don't think that this is a must-have book for any of us, but for the price, which is €12.50, and given the quality of the material and the production values, I really think that it would make a very nice gift for any treadhead. If you want to see my review of the new Ammo dry brush paints, click on the video on the left, and if you want to have a look at my whole weathering process, step by step, check out the one on the right. Thank you all, and remember, keep it up and weather it out.